What's going on, my plant peoples? I am the ADHD gardener, where I use gardening, houseplants, and humor as a form of mental health therapy, addiction recovery, ADHD, life skills, knowledge, and all that jazz. What I have here is this really cool, awesome book that is not cheap. But the reason why I got this is because we all know that I am a very big science nerd. That's the nurse in me. I want to know a bunch of information when it comes to medicinal herbs for ourselves. But not only just that, because there is a difference between pharmacology like prescription medications and also just using medicinal herbs. There is not much information out there, which is why I bought this book, because this is like smashing a medical pharmacology book on prescription medications and also smashing in a bunch of like holistic herbs, and that is what this book is. So I'm going to be referencing this book throughout the entire video, and I'm explaining a bunch of information that has in here depending on the herb that I'm talking about at that moment. So let's get started, because I have at least like 10 different herbs that I'm going to be growing for myself. I am not a doctor. So please do your own information searching, research. Please speak to your doctor about it. I am a nurse, but I no longer practice because I switched careers into all about plants.
I had to pause this video. I mean, am I the only one that sees a bunch of dirt right on the greenhouse plastic outside that really looks like a hot mess from the inside of this video? I don't know why that's there, but then again, hey, dirt just shows up in all the weirdest of places.
So let's get started about this information. In the description below, I'm going to drop a list of all the herbs with the timestamp, so you may want to jump around in this video because I'm going to be going in depth with these plants. Now remember, I'm not a doctor, okay? So you're going to have to do your own research, do your own independent studying, and I'm going to give you my references so you can always fact check me, because I always love information, and I'm definitely going to be showing you where I got my information from. The first herb is chamomile. Going through my notes because I did my research. Chamomile is a relaxant. It's great for inflammation and also for muscle spasms. Being that I have MS, multiple sclerosis, I am wondering what is great for muscle spasms naturally. Fantastic. Also is great for GI upset and for period pain. I don't know how medically useful that information is, but let's go refer to that book. The chamomile is in the Asteraceae family, so when it comes to side effects or potential allergies, any other flower or any other plant in the Asteraceae family, you may have allergic reactions to. So if you're allergic to chamomile, chances are you may be allergic to any other plant in that Asteraceae family. So keep in mind on that information. Other possible reactions could be anaphylaxis, which is, stopping of the breathing due to an allergic reaction to chamomile, or any other plant in the Asteraceae family. So keep that in mind also. This is where the book is really coming in play. Pharmacological consideration. This is a theoretical potential for warfarin interaction, which is telling me that in this plant, in the chamomile plant, there are specific properties that are very similar to a anticoagulant, which means it's a blood thinner. So if you are taking any sort of blood thinners already for whatever condition that you have, keep in mind that the chamomile plant or the chamomile tea, or however you're going to consume it, is going to or possibly can affect your blood levels. In other words, like how long it takes for you to blood clot. Like let's say if you get a cut or scratch or anything like that, how long is you're going to be bleeding for. Oh, by the way, stick around to the end because I have a bonus plant for you that we us humans cannot consume, but we all know our furry friends can. The next plant we're going to be talking about is the mullein leaf. We already know about mullein, and if you haven't heard about mullein leaf, it is super, super great for your lungs. Now, the reason why I'm going to be growing this is because my lungs suck. I am a cigarette smoker, which is super bad for you, and I'm trying to break the habit. But in the meanwhile, I get a lot of excess mucus that kind of like builds up over prolonged smoking periods. But also if you have a cold, flu, something like that brings on a lot of that excess mucus and you need to get it out of your system, this is why people would buy the Mucinex over the counters to get rid of that expectorant, to get it all out of your system. That's what the mullein leaf is supposed to be doing naturally. It's also good for infections, lung infections, colds, and that's why I am growing it, because I want to use it. Fun fact about this is that it's actually soft enough where you can use it as a toilet paper. So bring it on, toilet paper shortage, because I got some mullein leaf. You can find this information on mullein on page 910. And the flower, the only thing that they really said in the book about the bad things about mullein is actually the small hairs on the mullein leaf can cause irritation in your mouth or throat if not filtered out in the tea making process. But that was really about it. I did not really see anything adverse side effect. I mean, it does get in depth with in vitro and getting all medical on it. So again, look up this information on your own research. But for me wise and pertaining to my health, that's the only really information that I needed to know. And that's good enough. And it seems like really, really awesome. So I'm going to be definitely planting that. If it's one thing that I've heard a lot about is black seed oil. What is black seed oil? What is black seed? Where does it come from? I had no idea, but I knew that it had a lot of medicinal properties. And if you were to do your own research, you would definitely find its benefits. Unfortunately, the black seed oil or black seed is not found in this book, which is quite weird. I'm surprised, but I'm going to drop a link down in the description below with the link to the study on everything that has to do with black seed and black seed oil, so you can go research that yourself. I would highly suggest looking at this. To be honest, in the Mediterranean and Middle East, they call this like a miracle thing, because it treats a lot of variety of different conditions, especially skin conditions, and also what else? Antioxidants. It's been used in asthma. It's also been used in skin condition. It lowers cholesterol, lowers blood sugar, great for brain health, and it's been used in other lung conditions. Like, what is this? They're saying that this is amazing stuff. Like, why am I not growing this? Of course I'm going to be growing it this year. The next one we're going to be growing is hyssop. Now, hyssop has been used way back when, and you can even find it in biblical times. This is how far back this plant has gone, and it is continued, still used today. Now, you can definitely find this in the book on 458. For the hyssop, there is some positive benefits to it. Now, hyssop is used as an antispasmodic. So if you have muscle spasms, again, if you have MS, possibly this could be good for you. I'm not sure. I'm going to be using it myself. Also, it is used during cold and flu times. It's an anti-inflammatory, pain reliever. It's an expectorant again, which means it's going to cough up a bunch of stuff. And it's a stimulating diaphoretic, which means this is going to cause you to sweat. Which means sometimes if you have a cold and flu, what do? You get under the covers and you sweat it out. So here we go. Again, look it up, do your own research, but this is the reasons why I am going to be growing this for myself. Have to grow rosemary. Rosemary has so many medicinal benefits, and I'm going to let you know which ones they are. When it comes to rosemary, it is great for the skin. It is an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. I heard that rosemary is great for skin conditions. It's great for using it on your scalp to help regrow hair, especially when you have an autoimmune disease like I do that really can cause your hair to basically fall off. And my skin, the scalp of my head is always inflamed, and it literally hurts to touch my skin. So I heard that if you put rosemary oil on your scalp, that it can help reduce the inflammation and all that fun stuff with the scalp. So that's why I'm going to be trying it. But also skin conditions, I mean, fantastic. But also one of the side effects is possible dermatitis, which is a skin infection, if you're allergic to having rosemary oil or extract directly on your skin. But that's really about it. That's what I found. So another one that I'm really, really happy about growing is the oregano. Now, we all use it in our food for, as a spice, as an herb, but what can we use for it medicinally? Which I found was interesting as heck. Let me tell you, I actually saw it in a video where they were using oregano oil on an active infection, and it killed the infection. I saw this with my own eyes under a microscope in a video. I was like, yo, I need this now. The caveat is that it's not going to work on absolutely every single bacterial or viral infection. It doesn't work that way. If it was, it would be a miracle. And then again, but then again, why would Big Pharma want us to know about cures naturally? But I digress. It has massive antioxidants and antibacterial and antiviral properties. Now, why would Big Pharma want us to know about this, right? It's not going to work on absolutely everything, but it can work on a lot of stuff. And I'm definitely going to be growing this because I want to make the extract and I want to make the oregano oil, because you never know, right? So what does the book say about it? In the book, you can find it on page 602. Now, it says some people can be allergic to it, but that's just if you're naturally allergic to oregano. Like, if you can't eat the herb oregano, then you probably should not be using it on your skin or any other reasons. But other than that, I didn't see anything in the book. You could always look it up yourself, but just saying, I didn't find anything really bad about it. So I'm going to be trying it. Yarrow. I've heard so much smack about, well, good talk smack about yarrow that I had to grow it myself. It's great for wound healing. I think I saw something about the Native Americans, what they would use that back in the day. They would chew up the yarrow plant and then put it on their wounds. Now, let me know down in the comments below. Have you heard that before? I have heard that before, so I would do further research on it before you start going and putting yarrow, chewed up yarrow on a cut. But would I do it? I probably would. But then again, more research is needed. So what else can we find? Wound healing, GI upset, if you have an upset stomach, brain health, it helps you fight colds. And it says it's been chewed fresh for a toothache as well. This has to come from old Native American medicinal practices. But that's fantastic. What does it say about it in the book? Now, in the book, you can find this, and I completely forgot to write the page. So the page number is right there, and it is an allergy to any other plants in the Asteraceae family. Remember I mentioned that about chamomile? That this is in the Asteraceae family. So if you are allergic to any plants in that family, then you are most likely going to get allergic to the yarrow because they're all in the same family. But other than that, I didn't really see any contraindications. You may want to look this up yourself. Just saying. Another plant that I'm going to be growing, but for its seeds, is the fenugreek plant. Now, I'm not going for the plant. I want the seeds in general. Now, what is fenugreek actually good for you in your body? Now, let's just say it's got a big list. Decreased blood sugar, increased testosterone, increased breast milk production, and as a dietary supplement for diabetes. The possibilities with just fenugreek seeds are amazing. Now, again, you got to do your own research because a lot of these things can be contraindicated. Okay, so remember, I'm not a doctor. Now, what does the book say about fenugreek? Now, that you can find that information on page 872 in that book, and it says other meds to be taken 1 hour before or several hours after. That means that you cannot take fenugreek seeds or fenugreek extract, oil, any of that with other prescription medications. Contraindication means that there is something that's saying no to one side even though it's good on another side. Okay, so it's like basically trying to combine two different sides or perspectives into one. They don't mesh and they don't blend well, so that's contraindicated. So I would not suggest using fenugreek with any other prescription medication. So we would tell patients, if you're going to take one medication or one thing, you're going to take it 1 hour ahead or a few hours after, so your body can have time to digest that medication that you've taken. So if you're going to be taking fenugreek, you are not going to be taking it with any other medication at all. Okay, if you do wind up taking them together, you wind up taking fenugreek along with a prescription medication, just know that that fenugreek is going to lower the absorption rate of your actual prescription medication. That's why we do not want to combine them at all. Okay. It says that it's helpful with blood sugar, but you got to watch out for its anticoagulant properties, which means it may possibly have blood thinner properties in this. So again, this is why we talk, we tell you to talk to your physician about it. But we all know how much physicians know about natural medicines. That's why we need to talk to them. Also, when it comes to the fenugreek and using it on infants, there was some information about that in the book, but it's not, first of all, so how many people are really going to be feeding this to their infants? I would not suggest that. Do your own research, but it does mention something about infants and the whole fenugreek thing with a pseudo maple syrup disease. Now, I'm not going to get into it because it's pseudo, which means it looks and mimics like that disease, but it's not really. So it's detailed into that, so you would have to do your own research. But then again, I would suggest don't give it to your kids at all, because don't. Another one that I'm growing for myself is Valarian, because I have insomnia and I have trouble sleeping. So being that I do not take any prescription medications to help me sleep, I want to see if there's something natural that I can help me sleep with. Which brings me to, what is it used for? Valarian root is used for insomnia. Also used for headaches and if you have PMS, which I have PMS, so I guess I'm going to be using that for that too. You can find Valarian in the book on page 902, and it's got a lot to say about Valarian, so you got to be careful about this plant. It says do not use with benzodiazepines, barbiturates, or any other sedative. Now, there's a reason for that, because valerian root is acting as a natural sedative. It's supposed to relax you. It's supposed to calm you down, ease you, and relax you. As we all know, it's used for insomnia. So why would you be taking insomnia root like valerian and also with a prescription medication. That's a no-no. Do not do that. So that's where the contraindication comes from. Contraindication. It's not as good for one, it's good separately, but if you put them together, it's a no-go. Also, there has been 2 cases of liver-associated adverse effects on this. You can find this in the book and read it for yourself. Also, these effects have been reported, but not definitive, and you can also not be found in a diagnostic test. So that means there's not exactly proof, but there was verbal proof. So this is why we say you gotta be careful with what type of herbs you're gonna be trying to consume, and also prescription medications. So, being that you can't confirm nor deny this information, it's basically use it at your discretion with your doctors. Next one is milk thistle. You can find this one on page 807 of the book. But what does milk thistle do for us? Now, it is used primarily with a lot of people who have liver issues. Okay, so with liver disorders, dietary supplement for hepatitis, or maybe possibly any other liver disease. Now this can help with that. In the book, they said that there was a study on a woman that has stated that she had nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, also some sweating. But these reports are actually similar to an associated liver disease, which means it may be why she was taking the milk thistle in the first place. So this is not definitive answers. This is just a case study that was, you can find it in the book when you read it. This is what the information is said. Now, take that how you will, okay? Maybe in more books, maybe in more literature, you can find more information on it. This is why I say talk to your doctor about it. But we all know I am sober 84 days, and I know that I'm treating my liver like shit because of all the drinking. So I'm wondering, can milk thistle help a gal out in restoring her liver? I don't know. But that is some of the information to take with you and do what you want with it, okay? If you made it this long, I congratulate you. You're awesome, and you also care about your health and well-being. And the last one is not consumed at all by humans, but it is for our pets. And this is catnip for our cats, because our cats are assholes, but we love them so much. Now, have you ever seen my cat Ramen? I've talked about Ramen many times in my videos, and he's an asshole because he likes to go after my plants. But there is a lot of plants that the cats can actually go. I'm going to do that in a separate video. But for now, we're talking about catnip. Now, what can we use can we use catnip for ourselves? Not really. Catnip does not really, we should not be, as humans, consuming catnip. But what does it say? Catnip is an aromatic, can improve relaxation, but for ingestion, like us consuming it, nope. Not really. There's nothing on catnip for us humans, but it's great for our cats. But what does the book say about catnip? It's in the book too, and it's on page 588. It says, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Okay, it has been shown to decrease central nervous system activity in rats. Okay, so if it's doing that to rats, I certainly do not want to know what it's going to find out for us human. Now, central nervous system, it's not good, okay? Just know that central nervous system is brain, breathing, spinal cord. You don't want to mess with that at all. But it's great for our cats, and if you want to sniff it, it's all good. But it's great to grow for our cats, but not for human consumption, and now you know why. I really hope you liked this video and you got some really great informative information about this. Let me know down in the comments below what kind of herbs are you growing, because this is some great information to be passing along to a bunch of everybody who wants to know about it. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to smack that like button. Also, you can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and I'm on TikTok for my addiction recovery and all ADHD information. And until the next episode, you guys, where you and me both are going to be growing our happiness one plant at a time, one day at a time. I got to get to sowing a lot of these seeds. I'll check y'all later in the next episode. Peace and love.